All right. It's 11:34, and you are tuned into Heart Connections with your heart coach, Adelai Brown, on your community station, kineticify.com. It is time for Heart Talk. This is the talk portion of our show. This is where we come to renew our minds and restore our hearts. And today we're talking about distractions. It's Work It Out Wednesday. And as a coach and just being a mom, a wife, just a sister, a friend, just in life and community, I realize that many of us are very distracted, and these distractions are really hindering us from living our lives to the fullest. When I look at the world around us, I'm just I'm just often I'm often taken back by how much time we spend worrying about what other people have going on, how much time we spend paying attention to what other people are doing, what other people are saying, what other people have, just what they have taking place in their lives. And what happens is we find ourselves in a situation that it hurts us. So I wanted to talk a little bit about what you should be focusing on. We know that we get the whole idea of a distraction, and just to go back a distraction is defined as a thing that prevents someone from giving full attention to something else, a diversion or recreation, and number two, extreme agitation of the mind or emotions, right? That's what a distraction is. And I wanted to talk to you a little bit today about some things that you may want to focus on. What should you be focusing on? When we talk about distractions, we should be focusing on the small, still things that God is whispering to us as we go through our lives. You know, those thoughts, those great ideas that crossed your mind as you go throughout the day, but you think about it, but then the first thought is, I don't know how to do that. I don't have enough money for that. I don't know. No, those are the things that you should allow to distract you. Those are the things that you should entertain the thought of, well, what is this all about? And let me see how far I can go with this. What I'm finding is we are not happy in life right now, guys, because we have been allowing the distractions to bring us down. People will say, I'm tired of feeling down, but then they'll go cut on the news. Why would you do that? I know some people are like, well, we need to watch the news. We need to be informed. I Why? You can look up certain current events and find out what's going on in the world, but you don't have to keep the news on all day, or constantly listen to music that's tearing away at you, or whatever the case may be. We have to focus on Philippians tells us. Philippians chapter 4 is a great example of what we need to be focusing on. But when we think about distractions, it's just speaking to the fact that we're not paying attention to the things we need to be paying attention to. We need to be paying more attention to our health. We need to be paying more attention to the community around us. We need to be paying attention to the environment that we live in, our habitat. We need to pay more attention to our neighbors. The recent school shootings, I want to send all of my love to those. I think it's in Santa Fe, Texas. If I'm not mistaken, the school shooting that took place, I think, on Friday afternoon. There were reports that children said like this was the type of child that they weren't surprised that this person came to school and did what they did. When I hear things like that, I'm thinking, well, was it no one was paying him attention? I get it. They were distracted, right? Many of us are going through life distracted. If you watch people as they walk down the road and as they walk down a sidewalk, or even through the mall, people are so focused on their phones that you could just walk up and knock someone out. They wouldn't even know because they're so focused down. And I realize more of a need for us to learn how to be present and be in the moment than ever. Because at the end of the day, the past, neither the future ever exists. You only exist in the now. The only real tangible thing that you can touch is right now. Even if you're planning something for the future, when you get to it, it will be a present moment. It won't be something that is to come. These are the areas you need to focus on. You need to focus on what's going on in the present with you right now. You need to focus on how can you be a better person right now. What are some things that you can do right now to help you be who you need to be, go where you need to go, and do what you need to do. But we don't need to be focusing on how much, how many people don't like us, and we don't need to be focusing on, you know, how many times we messed up. We don't need to be focusing on those things. This stuff is inevitable. But what we can do is we can focus on what's making these people have a reason to talk about us, like the fact that you're living your life, the fact that you're doing the things that you need to do on the level that you're doing them. That's what you need to focus on. But you do not need to be focused on what do they have to say about me today? What's trending? What topic is trending right now on social media? Is that trending topic going to help you get to where you need to be in life? I mean, even what we see going on in the government right now, I feel like it's a lot of propaganda just going on to distract us from the things that are really important in life. And I can say this personally, like about like when it comes to like marriage and children, or just relationships and children and relationships with like amongst friends and family members. So many times somebody is hurting. A child is going through something, somebody's struggling, and nobody sees it because everybody's distracted. Everybody's distracted by the loud noise. They say the squeaky wheel always gets the oil, right? But you have to take a step back to where you can notice that there's a problem with the wheel, whether it's squeaky or not. And we have to get to a space where we have to get to a space where we want to know and we want to pay attention to the things that we need to pay attention to. And we often also have to be honest about the fact that we want to be distracted. Some of the things that we're dealing with in life are so heavy. It's so easy to be distracted because we want anything to pull us out of our reality. That's why so many of us draw to social media the way we do. You can be in your home, in your house, with people moving all around you and looking at your phone, and you could be lost in some world in some other place. And that sounds good and it sounds exciting, but it doesn't when you look up after 5 or 6 years and you don't know your children the way you think you do, and you don't know your family members the way you think you do. But you can tell me everything that's going on with your Facebook friends and your what's going on your Instagram timeline, who has how many followers on YouTube, and how this person is doing their hair. What is that doing for you to fulfill your purpose? How is that helping you overcome the hurt and pain that has been distorting your view, your vision of yourself, and your way of living? So, what do we need to focus on? Well, Philippians chapter 4 tells us that that we shouldn't be anxious about anything, but in everything, in every situation, by prayer and petition with thanksgiving, present your request to God. And this is what it says. This is what we need to focus on. Starting at verse 8, it says, "Finally, brothers and sisters, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things." Do you fix your thoughts on those things every day? We're talking about distractions today on the show because it's Working Out Wednesday. And many of us are not working out our dreams, not working out our goals, not working out our bodies because we are distracted. Why can't I work out? Well, I'm tired when I get up. I'm working too many hours. I have to do this for this person and do that for that person. Never getting anything done for yourself. I want you to pay attention to what you are focusing on and shift your focus. I also want to encourage you to come up with a game plan of what you're going to do when you get distracted. And we'll talk about that more in the last segment of Heart Talk. But seriously, what is your focus? What are you focusing on? Are you focusing on things that are true, noble, right, pure? Are you focusing on things that are lovely and admirable? Are you focusing on things that are excellent and praiseworthy? Many of us are not. And we wonder why our lives have like all hell is breaking loose because all we do is think about hell all day in our minds. How this is going to go wrong, how this isn't going to work out, how oh gosh, this happened this way the last time. And we get anxious. We get our stomachs upset. We start to have issues with our skin, and our hair starts to fall out. And then you wonder what's going on in your relationships, all because you're not focusing on the things that you need to focus on. You're distracted. You're distracted by what some person tweeted about this person, and you're distracted by what this person did, or even, this person at church said this about that person. Listen, pray and cover your brothers and sisters in the body. Let's not get so caught up. Let's not get so what the Bible say, itchy ears. Let's not be so anxious to hear gossip and to carry gossip and to dissect what's going on with other people. That's a distraction from us getting to the best place we need to be in our lives. When I got to a place when I realized all I was doing was focusing on how everybody was doing me wrong, and I did not focus on how I even got in the situation, even acknowledging the fact that maybe I might have been doing some wrong, or even thinking some wrong that attracted the negative situation that was going on in my life. Because see, it was everybody else's fault. Always everybody else's fault. My focus wasn't their fault. My focus wasn't in finding my own so that I can be better. And that's what I need you to understand. What are you focusing on? I know people, I'm trying to get closer to God. Are you reading your Bible and praying and going to church because you feel bad and you want to feel good? No, Jesus died to bring dead people back to life. What are you focusing on? Your motive, what you're focusing on, and the reason that you're focusing on is driving your life right now. And if it look the way you want it to look, then I encourage you to take a step back, an honest step back. And if you can't do it, put some honest people around you to help you and that love you, and really take a look at what are you focusing on. Because maybe, just maybe, that focus is off. Maybe your lens needs to be recalibrated. So you think about it. What's your focus? We'll work it out Wednesday later. High five.